Alright, so today I want to tell you about 10 different ways that you can make money breeding ball pythons. I've seen a lot of people buying some ball pythons, intending on breeding them, and a lot of times they'll actually say, hey, wouldn't it be nice to get to the point where I could quit my day job and just breed ball pythons full-time from the comfort of my home, which would be pretty awesome. And let me tell you, some of these things will definitely speed you up if you want to go in that direction. I actually brainstormed a little bit and I put together my top 10 money-making ideas for breeding ball pythons. And number one on the top of the list is produce and sell hatchlings. Of course, most people, when they think about breeding ball pythons, that's pretty much the number one thing on their mind. They're like, all right, I'm gonna take a male, breed it to a female, get some eggs, hatch those eggs, and sell the hatchlings to make some money. And that's just one part of the puzzle, breeding ball pythons. A lot of people, I'd say, kind of diversify over different areas as far as making money. Some people just focus on that one single thing. The problem is when you first get into ball pythons, a lot of times it takes several years for the females to get up to weight. The females have to be between 2 and 3 years. And let me tell you, the first couple of years I was in ball pythons, I pretty much, almost broke the bank getting into ball pythons because you're waiting for that initial investment. And let me tell you, there's other ways besides selling hatchlings that you can make some money. All right, so number two, you can actually sell merchandise at reptile shows. So, even if you don't have some hatchlings or if you just have a few hatchlings, you can actually go to the reptile show and sell other merchandise. So for example, you could sell like coconut husk blocks. I actually buy them a whole pallet at a time and I get them in bulk and get them at a significant discount, almost half price of what you would normally pay like over on Amazon or something like that. You can get them, you could actually mark up a block, a few dollars on every single block and sell them at the reptile shows and make some money. The problem is if you're selling coconut husk blocks at the reptile shows, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people selling them. So probably what I would do before you actually put a price on your coconut husk blocks, I would probably walk the show and see what other people are selling them at and probably match their price so you're not trying to outprice each other at the reptile shows. There's a lot of other things you can sell at the shows. As a matter of fact, I actually talked to ARS Caging, the company that sells these really fancy racks like the ones right behind me, the snake racks. And they said I could actually sell the racks at the shows, which is pretty interesting. You can kind of become a wholesaler of the racks where you could buy them and then mark them up a little bit and sell them at the shows, especially if you assembled them, because a lot of times it's really difficult to assemble the hybrid racks that are made from ARS. You could also sell t-shirts. There's a lot of other things, especially if you're into art. You can, especially if you have some free time, you can do a little kind of like art projects on the side. I've seen some people do drawings of snakes and have a whole table of just snake drawings. That's all they do at the reptile shows. There's a lot of things you can sell at the shows besides ball pythons. All right, so number three, you could make money online. And let me tell you, this is a game changer. This is pretty much where all my money comes from. The majority of my money. I do sell some hatchlings. I sell about 100 hatchlings a year. But let me tell you, I make more money online. And let me tell you, a lot of people, they say there's this big wealth gap between the poor and the rich. And as far as I'm concerned, the game changer that really changes everything is the internet. And let me tell you, if you can tap into the internet, you can make pretty much an unlimited amount of money. And I just have a few ideas here as far as what I do and some of the things that I've been thinking about online. The first one is YouTube. You can start a YouTube channel, of course. That is pretty much where most of my money comes from YouTube. And a lot of people, they say pretty much the worst thing you can do on YouTube is go after the ad revenue. And that's what I'm going after primarily. So I'm going after the views, so I have to put out a lot of videos. But a lot of people say there's other ways to use your YouTube channel to really promote your business other than making money just on the ads. And a couple other ideas, you can actually do affiliate programs. So I don't know if you've ever heard of affiliate programs. It's kind of interesting that Amazon has an affiliate program. So I actually signed up to the Amazon affiliate, and essentially what that does, I can go over to Amazon on any product and I can get a customized link from my Amazon affiliate account for that product. Then I'll take that link, I'll put it over on my YouTube page, and then when people click on it, go over to Amazon and buy that product, I actually make a commission from the affiliates program from Amazon, which is kind of crazy. As a matter of fact, I was actually watching one of the YouTubers that I follow. He does mostly a tech review channel, has over 1 million subscribers, and he revealed his Amazon affiliate amount that he was making on his channel. He said he makes over $35,000 a month just on Amazon affiliates, which was kind of crazy. You could make an incredible amount of money from an affiliate program. There's a lot of different affiliate programs too besides Amazon. You can also do super chat. As a matter of fact, I get a little bit from my super chat. Sometimes I actually get quite a bit from my super chats, especially if I'm doing a marathon. And that's kind of like a donation just to support the channel. You can also do Patreon. Some people have really fancy setups on their Patreon. They have, you know, discounts and different levels and tiers and free content and stuff like that. You can actually use Patreon to make, some people make a lot of money on Patreon. As a matter of fact, if you actually go to some people's Patreon accounts, you can see how much they're making over there. And some people will make like $10,000 a month on their Patreon, which is kind of crazy. It kind of blows me away. You can also do blogs. I've seen people do just a web page, kind of like an updated diary of what's going on. They'll actually put affiliate links on their blog to make money. Another one you can actually use is Cameo. I just recently discovered Cameo. It's kind of interesting. I actually tried to sign up, but I don't think my YouTube channel is big enough for Cameo. And essentially what that is if you have a big enough channel, they approve you and you can do short custom videos over on Cameo. So for example, you could, you know, pay someone like $20 or $25, someone who is famous or really popular, and they'll do a personalized video, like a happy birthday video. Like, you know, you pay me $25 and I'll be like, happy birthday, Bobby, you know, congratulations on your new puppy for your birthday or something like that. And you'll have a little short video that you can share with other people from your favorite YouTuber or celebrity. That is Cameo. I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. I've actually seen quite a few reptile guys over on Cameo, which is interesting. You can also do consulting. As a matter of fact, I've had some people ask me, hey, can you do some consulting over the internet or come in person? And I don't really do any consulting. I suppose you could kind of consider this YouTube channel more of consulting. I'm kind of consulting with you right now. I'm telling you how to make money online. I guess it's kind of the same thing, only I'm doing it in YouTube videos. And you can also write an ebook. Let me tell you, the ebooks are the thing to do. I've actually seen some people where they're like, all right, I quit my day job and I'm just doing ebooks. And essentially what that is, I actually saw someone who wrote an ebook on how to make money online by writing ebooks. So you just sit down and write, it's basically just a digital book. You can put them over on Amazon and sell them over and over and over. And every time someone buys your ebook, you get a percentage of the sales. I've seen some people where they just travel around the world, they're sitting on the beach, typing on their computer, writing their ebook and making money, just pretty much writing ebooks full time. So that, let me tell you, there's a lot of things to do online. I could just go on and on and on about all the different ways that you can make money online. And a lot of it is actually passive income, which I really like. So for example, if I make a really good YouTube video, it'll actually keep bringing in money month after month after month if it keeps getting the views, if it's a really good video. Versus if I'm breeding ball pythons, you know, I sell a snake and then I have to keep working at breeding more snakes to make more money versus making money online. It's almost like the passive income just keeps coming in. All right, so number 4, that was a long number 3. All right, number 4, you can actually buy hatchlings, grow them up, and sell them as adults or sub-adults. I've actually seen some people do this. A lot of people have asked me, you know, different ways to make money, and I thought this was kind of interesting. For example, you could actually go over to Morphmarket. You could buy a female pied ball python that is, you know, just a hatchling. I've seen them over there for about $350, maybe $400. And I've actually seen some adult size, about 2,500 grams, selling for about $2,000. So let me tell you, you can buy some hatchlings and grow them up, and instead of actually breeding them, you could just hang on to them for a little bit until they get a good size to them and then sell them over on Morphmarket for sometimes double or triple the price, which is kind of an interesting way to do things. All right, so number 5, you could actually do an educational outreach at schools or birthday parties. I've actually seen quite a few people doing this. Not only do they bring a lot of ball pythons, but they'll also bring some other reptiles, some tortoises and stuff. And let me tell you, bringing those snakes and turtles in with the kids is pretty exciting. A lot of those kids have never seen anything like that, and you're really kind of stimulating the future generation of reptile keepers when you do that. I think it'd be kind of an interesting concept to actually do that. The problem is there's so many ways to make money. You can't do them all. There's just not enough time in the day. You pretty much have to pick and choose from this list of 10. All right, so number 6, I've seen a lot of people doing this. You could start a reptile zoo. It seems like every YouTube channel that I've seen over on YouTube, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then once they get to a certain point, they're like, all right, I'm gonna start a reptile zoo, which is kind of interesting. And this is kind of how I think the reptile zoo thing goes. So you start breeding ball pythons, and then kind of the next logical step is like, all right, I want to breed rats to feed my ball pythons because I could save some money breeding rats, and it's a lot easier having my own source of food here for the ball pythons. And the problem is the rats get too big for some of your ball pythons. So then you start thinking, all right, what do I need to get rid of my older retired rats? And then you start thinking of a big snake, like a big reticulated python. So it's kind of like what I have now. I have 2 really big reticulated pythons, and I still have too many rats for all my reticulated pythons. So the next thing you start thinking of is like, hey, maybe I should buy an alligator or a crocodile or something like that to eat all these extra rats that I have left over. And then pretty soon you have a whole zoo. And then you start thinking, well, why don't I just open the zoo that I have here in my house to the public, and we can charge admission and make some money just having people come in and look at my animals. I think that is kind of the natural progression. It's like one thing leads to another. And let me tell you, a reptile zoo is pretty awesome, but it's a pretty big undertaking. I've actually seen people setting up reptile zoos, and let me tell you, it can be a lot of work. It can be pretty rewarding though. All right, so number 7, coming back down to earth, you can actually sell some used bedding as landscaping material. And this is where I make some money here in my collection. What I do, I use a coconut husk substrate for my ball pythons, and I'll save all my used coconut husk substrate, and then in the spring, I'll sell it over on Craigslist as used landscaping material. And people don't really care if it's got snake sheds and stuff like that in it. It still looks really good in the gardens. That's one way you can actually recoup. I'd say you probably could recoup maybe half of your cost for the bedding as far as what you'd paid for it, especially if you buy it in bulk. I think I get a block. I actually pay about $11 a piece for my coconut husk blocks, and I'd say I'd probably recoup maybe half that selling it as landscaping material. All right, so number 8, another thing you can do is you can sell rodents, live or frozen. So this is kind of tricky if you decide to sell rodents at a reptile show, especially if you sell frozen rodents. I've seen at a lot of the local reptile shows, they'll just have one person in the show that is allowed to sell frozen rodents. And usually it's just a rodent company. Although a lot of shows will let you sell the live rodents. I've actually seen a lot of people doing really well selling pet rats instead of feeder rats. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have like an 8-foot table with a really big, like 8-foot long plastic enclosure, and they'll put all the rodents in there, and people can reach in and kind of play with them and pick the ones out that they want. And let me tell you, you can make a lot more money selling pet rats, I think, than selling them as a feeder source, especially if you're selling live ones. So another one kind of in the same category as doing rodents, you can also do dubia roaches and mealworms. I have a whole bunch of dubia roaches in a little enclosure here in my reptile room. Let me tell you, they multiply so fast. I've been feeding them to my chickens and my frogs and my spiders, and I still have like millions and millions of them. They grow like crazy. That would be a good thing to sell at some of your reptile shows. All right, so number 9, you can actually become a wholesaler. I've seen some people kind of flipping snakes, buying them for a lower price and selling them for a slightly higher price. You could do that as a business model and just do it for business. So you can do a little bit on the side. Although a lot of people kind of frown on flipping snakes. It's kind of interesting. I actually did a video just recently about flipping snakes for profit, and there was some comments in there like, tell me who the flippers are because I'm never going to buy a ball python from that guy again. I do not like snake flippers, which is kind of interesting. But I think if you did it as a business, maybe you'd have a different perspective on buying and selling ball pythons. All right, so number 10, this is another thing that I kind of discovered after I did YouTube for a couple years, and that is photography. You can actually do snake photography, and I actually considered it, and I decided I got so many things going on right now that I can't really fit it into my schedule. But you can actually take pictures of your ball pythons or other reptiles and snakes, and you can sell those. I've seen some people print them out and sell them at the shows, or a better place you can actually sell them, you can go over to iStock Photo or Shutterstock. And kind of the interesting thing about that is it's similar to the YouTube channel where you make something and you get the passive income over and over year after year where the money keeps coming in. So essentially the way it works is you take a picture of your snake and then you go over to Shutterstock, set up an account, and then you post the picture over there, and then they sell that picture for you. So they handle all the selling and all the money and everything. And essentially what it is they sell the picture over and over and over, and every time they sell the rights to that picture for someone to use it in media or somewhere like a YouTube channel, you actually have to go over there and pay for the rights to use that picture. You actually make a portion of that. You make a small percentage. I'm not sure what the percentage is. I haven't actually done that. As a matter of fact, I was actually at a reptile show selling snakes. I had a whole table of 60 snakes, and some guy comes up with this really fancy camera. I knew it was an expensive camera, and they started taking a video through my enclosure, through the display case on my table. I was like, hey, do you want me to take that out? And you can actually get a better picture of it or a better video of it. And I started commenting on his camera, and we started commenting on, we started talking about the Shutterstock and all that, the iStock Photo, and how to make money with stock photos online. And he's like, you know, you can make some money with the photos, but even better, you can go over to some of those same websites and sell the videos, short little videos of different things, and you can actually make more money from the videos. I thought that was kind of interesting. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen some YouTube channels where all they do is travel around the world and take pictures and short videos and upload them to those websites and just keep making more and more income year after year, just traveling around taking pictures and short videos, which is another way you can make money with ball pythons. So that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.